Will. We got directly under me is Jerome.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Up on the top, we got George. Who's
George
frozen.
frozen right now.
Frozen in time.
George is frozen.
We need more people to add a block than we got the Brady Bunch.
And under him, we got Mike, who's moving.
Who moving? I ain't moving. No, I'm moving this way.
Yeah, you're moving. George is frozen.
Yeah,
George
wow.
is frozen again.
He's frozen. He's frozen. He's
right when the broadcast.
Wow, gone. Oh man,
Jerome, it's you.
I didn't do that. Don't blame me. Don't put that on me.
Oh
No.
man, what the heck? But yeah, how's everybody's week going? Hopefully George comes back.
I'm
sure
under the weather.
Okay, Windows just decided to. Did you see he posted a comment? Windows just decided to restart.
Oh wow.
Oh,
he must be flipping out. Oh my god.
All right, well, we got Nigel in the room. Let's talk. Nigel and Six are in the room, and George is in the room, kinda. But yeah, how's everybody's week going?
Good.
Anybody want a head cold? I'll share it with you.
No, you keep that to yourself.
Yeah, for real, I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need that. I don't even know if I get paid if I take off, Mike.
You might not have a job, right?
Yeah. I call Noah. You know what they'll do? They'll be like, "Yeah, you can call out, but you're not getting paid."
Oh wow.
Yeah, crazy.
We Jerome, we work for tyrants. That's all I got to say.
Hey, I understand. I understand how that goes.
Mhm.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I don't even know the last time I've been off. I have no idea.
Mom's in the room. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I'm putting my time in, Mom. How you doing? Chicken soup is working. She wrote to me over today. She said, "Have some chicken soup," and I said, "Don't worry, Pat made some, so it's always good." DJ Sabria, he says he just came from Viper's live stream to watch you guys.
Oh man, thanks, man.
Put him on there. Put him up there.
Yeah, right. Oh, see, I gotta remind me all. I'll be forgetting all this stuff. I'll be feeling
it's been
like
a while
Jerome,
since I tuned in to watch Gorgeous George. It seems he's having technical issues. Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Well, this time Microsoft had a better idea.
Wait. Did Windows? Oh, Windows restarted him out of the blue. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I guess he had an update.
All right. Well, we might as well attack the comments because I saw. I think Jerome. I don't know if you posted or if you put a video up about it. The budget Pixel 4 looking amazing.
Yeah, that was me. Which is like
that's Google. That's Google. That's how they do it.
I don't know, man. It
just turns the knife, right?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
We can't wait to May, right, Jerome? Right? We get the Pixel 3, Pixel 4a, right? Yeah.
We'll see. I'm it's nice to see the specs at least come out, or the purported specs. What's that?
Specs are out?
X?
No.
So there's no yeah, I'm just saying the purported specs. I don't know what the processor is gonna be.
Again, I'll point this out real quick to talk about specs. Remember, we had this conversation. What chipset they're going to decide to use? To 5G. You know. I mean, what's going to be the it's subpar specs.
Actually, so do you think the Pixel 4a is going to be 5G? No. I wonder. No.
Well, that's the question of the hour. You know.
Yeah, probably not. I'm guessing not. Did you guys see the?
Let me answer, Mom. Go ahead. I want to answer.
No,
Mom.
I was going to say, did you guys see the announcement for the? Was it the 10 Lite, right? Or S10 Lite? Yeah. I didn't really get a chance to take a look at the specs in there. Do you guys know what chipset that's running? Is it a 600 series or 700 series?
I didn't watch it. I just saw MKBHD posted, and I was just like, Samsung is killing it.
I mean, they're doing what they got to do. So
yeah, they are killing it.
I saw one article that mentioned about they're trying to come out with this light variant to beat out Apple when Apple comes out with the supposed SE or the iPhone 9, I might be called too. So
Really? Wait.
Yeah.
So they wanna bring out a third variant then?
Who? Apple?
No,
Apple?
They're saying Apple's going to come out with a small phone. Remember how they kept saying they were going to have the SE? Then they were saying it's going to come out this year. Then they said last year. So I think they're saying that Samsung's trying to compete with that. I don't think that's what it is, Mike. I just think Samsung has a lot of budget phones, and now they're going to compete with at like the OnePlus price point. I seen somebody said on Twitter that the reason they're doing it is because they think Samsung doesn't want to have to lower the price of the Note or the S11, or you know what I mean? Just like Apple did with the iPhone. Like they still have the iPhone Pro, then they have the Max, and then they have a budget model that's basically the same phone, but it's cheaper. So now Samsung is going to have, most people are going to say, okay, all I need is the light model. And the people who want the spec out one are going to buy the S11 Plus or the Note. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what they're going to
get more people on Samsung. They're smart because now they won't have to discount the S11 a month after it comes out because you can buy the light. It's going to be just like with
they give away the house. They give away a house when they come out with a new one.
It's going to be like they did
with a watch, a dishwasher, a TV. Okay,
washing machine. Oh, Mike, I don't even want to talk about it. Remember this morning with the chaos? It's always something. That's all. You remember this morning we were on the phone?
Yeah.
Washing machine.
Oh no!
All over the place.
What happened?
Me and Michael on the phone this morning.
I was on the phone, and it's
and then all he heard was like chaos at my house, and he was like, "Just go." And I didn't even know what was going on. I go,
you were probably thinking it was coming from Mike's end.
Like, oh my God. Always something, man. Always.
You know what though, real quick, what I found interesting, I was actually reading through, because I think I saw it on The Verge about the new light phones from Samsung, and somebody had a good point and said that, like, even though they want flagship specs, they were happy to see that the light had flat screens and not curved screens. Somebody like I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like, would you rather have a flagship phone with the flat screen instead of a curved screen? I guess that's also good for chat if that's something they like. I like the flat screen. I don't really care for the curved screen that much.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't care. I mean, on the Note, the newest Note, I think it's better than it was the last time I used like an S9.
Okay, so you think they've improved?
On the Note, it doesn't curve as much.
Really?
Yeah. Like Mike, you have, what do you have, an S9?
I got an S9. Yeah.
The curve on that one is deeper than your wife's, right? Isn't it like a bigger?
Yeah, but you know, it's funny. I use the Edge display, the Edge panel.
You do use it?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I actually load up all the apps that I use all the time. I just give it a swipe, and everything I use all the time, I just go boom.
Really?
I like that.
It works out well. I guess I haven't really messed with it to say whether or not.
I think that's sort of the problem. We're so used to it being flat, okay, and we never really gave the curved display a chance to really try out its functionality. So I made a point, and then I realized messaging, Telegram, Twitter, the calendar, just to name a few. I'm always going flip. It's boom. It's right there. And
actually, that's interesting.
I keep my screen clean. I don't have it all. Wait a minute here. Hold on. This is embarrassing. Look at all the I just haven't got. Okay,
that's ugly, Mike.
Lazy too. So,
where's
George? Is he back? He's in
the
chat.
It is Microsoft.
Really slow. Whenever it goes down, he always says it's like 20 minutes for it.
It's Microsoft.
Minutes? Yeah, he said for it to like load back up.
Is this his PC that got built?
There he goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if he needs someone to build one for him, that's what I do that too. So
I always try to use the Edge display, and then I don't know. I always kind of lose interest, but I do it for the same reason you do, Mike. I put all the stuff that I use a lot So this way my screen can be pretty much blank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Samsung in there, tons and tons and tons of features. Mike, you see what Gary said?
Somebody send Michael Blake. hey, I'll reveal. I'm going to reveal. This is I got the Pixel 3a. Okay, and this is one of the this wallpaper came with the 3a. I haven't had a chance to customize it or change nothing. Every
all
time
black. That's what I do. All black.
Yeah,
save battery.
Yep, that's how I usually do it.
That's what the Pixel needs anyway. It needs an all black display.
I was just going to say,
the Pixel needs grayscale.
It needs 30 hertz. That's what it needs.
I can get through easily a day and still got juice left over on it. So.
Yeah, because you got the good model. The cheaper one is the one to buy for
I wanted to find out myself what's this all about. So I said I gotta get it. I gotta try it out.
Except the updates, right, Jerome? I think they're slipping on those too, right?
Yeah.
Was that for just the regular 3?
Well, so I think there are people who still haven't gotten them all yet for the 4. I mean, that video I made yesterday was specifically for the 3. And it was funny because somebody left a comment and was like, well, you shouldn't just expect people to hurry up with updates just for the sake of having an update. And I was like, well, no, that's different. If you're just making updates to make updates, but this is an update that was released in December. It's a month now. Like, and there's nothing else to update on that update. It's done. Just why aren't people getting it? Anyway, I'm not gonna.
But that's the selling point of the phone. Like
it is.
The Pixel is to the point where there's nothing else to sell it anymore. Like updates in the camera, that's it. Because you don't get free storage. You know what I mean? Usually the design of it isn't that great. So the selling point is you want to get the updates first, and they can't even get that right.
Yeah.
Even before, like the December update came in like December 19th.
We'll see this Monday. We'll see this Monday because that's when the January OTA is supposed to come out. So we'll see if I get mine on Monday. Actually, Mike, have you, or George, even you, George, have you guys gotten then the latest update for December?
I just got it the other day. I mean, let me double check.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I think. Remember you did.
I'm on December's patch.
So you are. Okay, well, good. That's good. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it updated on me when second time I rebooted the phone.
Mike, you need to let Will's subscribers know about the apple juice.
What? I got apple juice.
Okay.
Because I went back, I left the iPhone. That's why.
There you go. There we go.
See, Jerome, it all started because Will has the Apple Watch, and every time Will does, 5 hours of workout at the gym, we all get notified. Okay, so George was like worried that something happened to Will. Well, Will doesn't have his Apple Watch.
Yeah, for 4 days, I'm seeing 0. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I haven't been wearing it. That's why.
Why haven't you been wearing it? Just
I haven't been using the iPhone. Usually, though, I would still wear it, and then when I come home, it would update. But I just haven't.
Wait, what are you using?
He's on a Pixel 4.
The same cursed phone you got.
Oh, I thought you. I don't know why I thought for some reason I thought you got rid of it. Wait, why would you get rid of it and then get it back again?
I always miss the stupid phone when I don't have it. But I hate it too at the same time.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you got one because you do like the updates. You do like the
I like the updates. I like the camera. Yeah.
Remember this update.
There you go. Nice, George. Good.
Gary, I don't even gotta pay for a year. I'm gonna wait and let mine expire. He's talking about
what are you talking
storage?
Google One, because I have 200 gigs and I think the Pixel came with 100. But I have like 100 from HTC from years ago.
For some reason, Google was always giving Will free stuff. I don't know why.
Google gave away free storage for a while. I had extra storage for a while, but now I pay $20 a year.
You don't know about his free phone he got last year.
I always get free stuff from Google. They love me.
Yeah.
My free 3XL. Yeah.
Wait a minute. let me ask you guys: being I bought this Pixel, am I entitled to free?
No, it was only with the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what it probably was? Because they were like,
no powerful, okay?
They probably said, since we're not giving them the free whatever, the thing that, they took away the free storage for the photos. They probably were like, we got to give them something. So they gave us that. I think it was for 3 months. And then I just got the email saying mine was about to expire, but they're trying to give me a promo. But I'm like, once the 100 gigs is over, I'll still have 100. Like, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
Jerome will of the deals. He knows how to get some deals, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, Google gave you a 3XL?
They didn't give it to me. I bought it.
Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah, I tried to buy it, but they didn't charge me. They didn't want to take my money, so I wasn't going to give it back to them.
Hey, there you go.
A gift card. I was like, no, it's all right.
But wait a minute. Oh, then he tried to buy the Note 10.
Oh, then I tried to buy the Note from Samsung, and they wouldn't take my money.
They didn't want his money at all.
I never went through nothing like that in my life.
How is this?
Listen, I kept buying the phone, right? I would pay for the phone. It would be like, your order's confirmed. They took the money. And then like 2 days later, it would be like, your order's canceled. And I kept I just gave up, man. I never went through nothing like that. Samsung would not take my money.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But when I Googled it, a whole bunch of people said the same thing. Said that something is wrong with their e-commerce, whatever. Because
you would think, especially for a company that's selling phones like this for that much, that they wouldn't be messing up their e-commerce stuff or their, whatever.
Exactly. Well, you know what it is with Samsung. I've told Will before, he's so America-centric. Samsung's mad at him. That's what it is.
Samsung's mad at him. I don't know. I don't know if Samsung would be mad about taking someone's money.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm looking at the renders. I'm looking.
Embarrassing.
What's that?
Google right now, Jerome. You don't like Samsung?
Wait, what's that?
They're embarrassing Google right now with these updates. You don't like?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that the January update is starting to get released for Samsung, which is great. It's great to see. I mean, this is you know what? Maybe I'm being too hard on Google with the updates because this is just.
No, you're not. It's supposed to be first. Come on now.
No, I mean, because part of me is like, well, what? This is like really their first big mishap with the update stuff. But maybe this January things will be fine. We'll see this Monday.
I can't wait to get into some of our latest stories. As far as Google.
This is terrible, though, man. This is
I know.
Samsung is actually on the current version of Android. They were on, right, Mike, before the end of the year.
Oh yeah,
I was shocked.
Yeah, my wife got the Android 10 update New Year's Eve.
No, that's great.
I was shocked.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and not much of a big difference to me.
Yeah, I think they made like small changes.
Yeah.
It was like small. I think they did some stuff with the camera. I was reading like small stuff, but I mean, better than nothing. It's Samsung. So.
But Jerome, the reason, and you know me, Jerome, I'm a Google fanboy, I guess, like you. But this is why we buy the Pixel, man.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm not trying to give them.
Even give them a pass. There's no pass for that. There's no pass. I'm sorry, but like this is the last thing that's keeping Pixel buyers to buy the phone at this point, because the cameras are kind of like everything's pretty close. You know what I mean?
iPhone got the beat on that, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, with Android though, but yeah, iPhone killed it this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. I totally agree.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is coming from the guy who made the iPhone 11 Pro.
My phone of the year. Yeah,
the of the year.
I'm probably going to make one. I never made one, but the phones that I did for 2019. Guess what's going to be number one?
It's the 3A. Yeah.
No,
it's not. Oh, it's your 11.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Your iPhone. Yeah, that's right. He's got the 11.
Gary is not a fan of Samsung. All right, let's get into stories because Mike don't feel good, so we got to keep him around as long as we can.
Yeah, Mike, you'll stay. I'll convince you to stay.
All right. We can start with the Pixel.
Which one?
Pixel 4.
4A render.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to share it. Okay, and then you can put it up there when you want to, Will.
All right, I'm waiting. Yeah, so once again, Google.
I think
Google
I got it.
like Google's been doing since last year. They bring out the budget phone, and it looks better than the one that costs double the price. Google is terrible. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I'll take it. First, this is from Android Police. The first Pixel 4a renders show off punch hole and a hole punch display, good old fingerprint sensor, and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. One of our audience's most anticipated smartphones of 2020 may come from all places Google. While the Pixel 4 has been a critical flop, though it was our reader's choice, the Pixel 3a was championed as an all-around utility unit by almost every corner of the Android geekdom. Now we're getting what might be our first look at the phone to supersede that one, a Pixel 4a, if you will. The intel comes from Steve Hammerstoffer's at OnLeaks and through Indian retailer blog 91 Mobiles. It indicates several design flares that match up with the Pixel 4's look, but also hints at compromises that keep the phone wallet-friendly, much like the 3A. On the back, it is expected that the 4A will stay with a matte unibody material, presumably plastic, a capacitive fingerprint sensor, and a single 12-megapixel camera, though in a stove-like hump that's said to house other sensors as well. Power and volume buttons stay stage left. No SIM tray is visible from these renders. The bottom edge features a USB-C port and speaker grills, while the top keeps the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack in place from last year. To the front, we're told the display will take up more space on a smaller chassis than the 3A, maybe 5.7 or 5.8 inch screen as opposed to last year's 5.6. Bezels have shrunk down to the point where a thin earpiece remains perched at the very top. Google may opt to pull off a punch hole selfie cam, as Samsung has done for its flagship phones in 2019. This design choice, however, makes the implementation of motion sense features through Project Soli radars doubtful.
Oh yeah, we're also disappointed about that.
Yeah.
The Pixel 3a's dimensions of 151.3 by 70.1 millimeters times by 8.2 millimeters with a weight of 147 grams. The Pixel 4a is suggested to be 144.2 by 69.5 by 8.2 millimeters with a camera bump going to 9 millimeters. Further details are more speculative. The Pixel 4a will be stocked with at least 4 gigs of RAM, but may probably go up to 6. Wow. This is so terrible. Internal storage is expected to stubbornly stick at 64. We may see either a Snapdragon 730 or a 765 SoC, depending on how Google assesses the state of play for 5G. In addition to black and white, 91 Mobile suggests purple and orange are at play for the wildcard color. Google will likely announce the Pixel 4a at the next I/O conference. As with many things in life, things may change between now and whenever they debut. The price will be a big point to watch. I didn't mean it was terrible bad, George. I mean, the Pixel 4 has 6 gigs. Like, they can't. If they, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to up it. Now, I don't mind the SoC, but the other stuff, I mean, 64 gigs. I mean, come on now.
No, but listen, George, if they put 64 gigs, right?
Right.
And let's say they do 6 gigs of RAM and the phone costs $500.
Right.
And then you gotta buy what is the 4? What does the 4 cost? $800 for the same specs?
Yeah. You think they're gonna increase the price to 500? Or you guys think they'll keep it at 400?
No, the 3A was the best-selling phone they ever had.
So you don't think they'll bump the price?
I think they might maybe $30. No, I don't think they're gonna.
I was going to go 50, but 30, 50.
That's ridiculous. Google is like never again.
Wait, Will, you're the last person in the world.
listen, George. Never again until November. But yeah, man, for real, this is embarrassing, man.
It is.
On the Pixel 3a, does it only have one speaker at the bottom, or is it two?
Oh, it's stereo.
It's stereo.
Yeah.
Jerome, it's better than the 3.
No.
I was shocked. I was listening to a video, and I'm covering this. I'm covering one of these holes. I'm like, hot damn, that's stereo. That's cool.
We got the speaker here, and we got the speaker here.
Yeah,
good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Wow, I should have bought a 3A.
And I'll be going 4A again this year.
You know what? That's what I told Will when I told him I gotten it. I said I mostly got it, to experience it, but now I'm going to get the updates. I'm going to get the betas for I don't know how many years. You know what I mean? I'm going to get all that techie stuff for I paid $299 for the phone.
You'll get the same experience, and you could have bought 3 of those for the price of one.
Let me just point something out too about the 4A. It's going to be I think what's going to happen here is they're going to be able to get the 4A in more countries because they don't have that.
Oh yeah, because they don't got them stupid sensors that nobody uses.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to see a 4G phone. I don't think we're really going to see 5G, just simply because of trying to get into international markets.
I'm thinking
go ahead.
Smarter at this point. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Jerome?
Wait, say it again. I didn't hear you.
I'm thinking 4G is smarter for them on this one than on the 4A.
4G is the right move to do. I mean, we've all been talking about it. The 5G implementation for 2020 is just not going to be ideal. It is for a testing audience who wants to see how well it does. It's for the carriers to test it out and then see how they're going to spread the technology forward.
And for those that want 5G that works, you're going to have to be going mid-range or lower range, so you're not going to get the millimeter wave. So what's the point?
Well, I'm going to be that guinea pig because I'm going to have to buy a phone with 5G. I mean, I want to test these phones out, so I got to do it.
I'll probably be getting whatever cheapest 5G I can get on T-Mobile and see what it's like. But
do you guys think they're ever going to do something better with the Soli sensors?
No.
Wait.
Right.
You can't think of an implementation that would be good for it.
It's still Google, so I got to agree with Will.
You know why though? Because they said that when they first did it, when they were showing all those previews of it, when they were doing like the testing, and they had the videos on YouTube where it could tell you how many playing cards were on the scale and all kind of stuff. They said that size, like they had tested it on, I think it was a model 2XL or 3XL, whatever, but it was big. So they had to like redo everything to fit it into this size,
into
the phone. So they had to redo everything that it could do. That's why it's trash.
You see DJ Sabri's comment there? It kind of makes sense. Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you get 64 and 4. Yeah,
I agree.
Oh, that's why I would be surprised to see it bump up in price. But like, I think they're smart enough to know sell it at the same price. But I could see how Mike said, like, if instead of $400, it'll be like $429 or something.
You know what though? If it's not gonna have nothing else, they're not gonna raise the price. Like if the design is still plastic, it still has a fingerprint scanner, it still has a headphone jack, and they didn't and they're not adding no extra camera, then they really shouldn't raise the price. But
now, where I disagree with DJ is I don't think it's a lower SoC, but that SoC worked great on the 3A. So
the 3A can run everything, right?
Exactly.
It runs everything. You get the same experience, the same.
No stuttering whatsoever.
What SoC are we using on the 3A? I don't even know.
Do I remember? Is it
a 700 series or 600 series?
I think it was the 600 series.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Which phone?
On the 3A. What Snapdragon is it using?
675.
675.
Yeah, and it runs great. No stuttering, nothing.
I'm just curious because the Moto G7 that Mike's lent me that uses a 632. And I'm wondering how much better the 675 is, because I mean the 632 isn't bad, but there's noticeable noticeable lag on it. Like it's not
Really?
awful. It's not awful, but it's just I can't be as efficient as I normally am on my Pixel 4 or on my iPhone.
And
That's
let
all
me
I'm
tell
saying.
you, Jerome, I bought the Moto G6 Plus and the Moto G7 Plus. Even though it's not officially released, in both cases, it's a step above the regular Moto G7.
It is. Okay.
And it runs faster, better cameras, great phone.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
When they come out with the Moto 8 Plus, I'll probably get that too, because I have nothing but great experiences, and you're not paying much more for a little bit better. And and when they release all three phones, they tell you the Plus is the better specs. They just say, well, we're not officially releasing it for the US. Well, it works fine on T-Mobile. You know,
and it's a shame. That phone would really, I think, could be a competitor to the Plus model.
Yep.
There's so many Moto phones out there that I start to get confused now.
Yes, there are.
I wish they had just done the X. I wish they would have just kept the X and the G. I feel like those are their two, well,
bread and butter ones.
Yeah, well, now they have Z, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Which one did they get? Is it the Z they're getting rid of?
I don't know. I don't even keep up anymore.
Yeah, I think Z they're getting rid of. So
yeah, Moto's got too many.
Yeah.
So my old man's mind. As soon as I said the Z, my mind went to Zorro. The Z for Zorro. This is how my mind works.
Google's just, I don't know. I don't know. I think Jerome, this time you can test it out for me and let me know if the Pixel 5 is gonna be worth it. Because
so who's that? Jerome? Oh yeah, Will's personal tester. Yeah,
he can test it and let me know if it's worth it.
Well, Google, I will test it.
They are not instilling confidence the way they do this.
It's been tough. It's been a tough couple of years for Google, I think. So
but
it's like
a couple of years because of their own decision.
Oh yeah. No. I'm not. There's no one else to blame but Google. It's just it's so hard when my expectation was here for them. Like like you're gonna get it. And now it's just like we'll see where they go.
That's why when I got the 3A and I saw it in comparison with the regular, I was like, boy, am I glad I got the 3A.
I mean, at least they made a good move there, because I will tell you, when the 3A came out, I didn't really have expectations for it because I'm just so used to a Snapdragon 800 series that I was like, well, okay, it's good for whoever needs it, but I guess for me, it wasn't. It was just, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm being bougie about it, right?
Well, you want the best snob, you're an SLC snob. Come on now.
No, I know. No. And I respect that they're gonna put a good mid-range phone out there. I want to see a good mid-range phone.
Yeah.
I just I that's why though it's still I still don't think Google's doing the right thing, charging $800 and giving me a phone that's not worth that much.
Yeah. You said as much in your videos. Now here's what I suspect. I suspect Google looked at Xiaomi and Moto and knew that lower SoC would work just fine, because they work just fine on Xiaomi and Moto.
So do those guys use the 675? What other phones are using the 675? Do you guys know?
I forget which ones, but yes, Xiaomi uses 710. So does Nokia. They use the 710.
You know what? When I watched, did you guys? I'm sure you guys watch MKBHD's smartphone awards video, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing that surprised me is because I was gone from the YouTube game for almost a year, so I didn't really keep up with a lot of the phones. But when he was talking about was it the budget phone? Maybe not a budget, but he talked about the Redmi K20 Pro.
Yeah,
that's a $400 phone with a Snapdragon 800 processor.
Mm-hmm.
That is the cheapest I think I've seen for a recent Snapdragon 800. I think.
And a lot of people love that phone, and I keep saying I need to get one of those Redmi phones.
I saw that and I was like, those are pretty good specs for a $400 price point.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think I need to delve into some of these other phones and test them out.
How about the Poco phone? The Poco phone was the rage, was it not?
I remember everyone talked about that. Are they not making another one, or what is?
No,
they keep talking about a Poco F2, and everybody keeps waiting for it, and so far it doesn't show up. And they've been talking about it for like 5 or 6 months.
Some people say that K20. Is it a K20? There was another phone that Xiaomi made that was
They said that was like the Poco phone, right? Like it was like the second version.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I remember, but I forget what phone it was. But yeah, I remember that.
And I think didn't Munchie have both of those phones, the Poco and the K20?
Yeah. What's his name?
Android Stud.
Yeah, Android Stud, man. My man, they did all kinds of
yeah, he did crazy
ROMs,
numbers,
all kinds of
yeah.
And to answer Jerome's question,
what?
Here goes the list.
He found it. Which ones are using that chip?
The Vivo U20. Okay, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 Pro.
Redmi. Thank you.
Which Snapdragon is this, real quick? Is this the
675?
Oh, 670. Oh, these are the 675 phones.
That's right. Samsung Galaxy M40, Samsung Galaxy A70s with an S, Vivo V17 Pro, the Moto Z4, the Meizu Note 9, and a Hisense U30.
Okay.
So out of all those phones, I recognize 2 that could be here in the States. Every other one has been out of the country.
That's true.
I'm just curious to see how. Yeah, I'm curious to see how well it does in performance. It makes me want to try a Pixel 3a just to see, because I have no idea. So
you see what DJ just said? That's terrible, ain't it? Yeah. Google brought they took over HTC and Motorola and did nothing.
Like engineers in too.
Yeah, HTC was making good phones.
That's a great comment there, because
what are they doing?
I owned a good amount of HTC phones, and that was I think one of their defining qualities was how
they're built behind me, and it still works great.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know what Google's done since then.
Nothing. Nothing, man. It's terrible.
Does Google know what Google's done since then? That's what we all wonder.
And then they keep buying stuff. They bought Fitbit. They bought they look what they did to Moto. They bought Moto. Moto had what was that thing called, Mike?
Moto Actions.
Moto Display. They had in Google.
Oh, I love
Why
that
didn't
stuff.
they take that?
They took the
squeeze. No, what did they take from them? No, they didn't take the squeeze from them. They took that from somebody else.
That was HTC, wasn't it?
They took like one. Oh, they took Hey Google or OK Google, whatever.
Right, which was Hey Moto.
Moto was better because you could customize it. Moto, you could change it to whatever you want.
That's right. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
Whatever you want to.
When the OG Moto X Pure came out, that was like one of my favorite phones ever. It was such a great phone, and those little things. You know what? On the Moto G7, actually, what I love about it is it still has the old school functions. I could chop down to turn on the flashlight. That's so much better. That's so much better than at night when you have to unlock your phone and exactly. You just go bam bam. Flashlight there, and then if you want the twist for the camera, I mean, those are great functions. There's
Google took none of that. Google, I don't know.
Kind of weird.
It's like they want to fail. I mean, it's like they just want to. What did MKB? What did he give them? The flop of the year or something?
He did for the Pixel 4. Yeah. It's
like the biggest disappointment, and that's the crazy thing.
So glad I did not try it before.
It gets so hyped up every year, and it's only because of the camera. Because you got to know by now, Google's gonna mess it up.
To be fair, one of Google's I guess crutches back in the day, especially when I was getting all the Nexus phones, was the camera, right? It was just I wish the camera could be better. I wish it could be better. Then the Pixel and the Pixel 2 and then the 3, and the cameras were great. It's like they figured that out. And then I don't know what happened to everyone, because the Nexus 6P is still one of my favorite phones ever, right? The Moto X, I will say the Moto X Pure and the Nexus 6P, those are 2 of my favorite phones, and they still are.
Nexus 6P was one of my favorites, and so everybody started having battery issues.
obviously
started having battery issues too.
Right. Yeah, I mean, take those parts aside, which are big things. But yeah, I mean, my Nexus 6P still works, so
right. And so does but I won't deal with it anymore because the battery's got, it gets down to 50%, shuts itself off.
Yeah.
Oh no, what? Yeah.
Oh yeah, happens all the time.
Yeah. Google just, I don't know, man. It's disappointing, man. Every year, I seen one of the guys from, I think it was Android Central. He was on Twitter and he was like, "If somebody gave you a Pixel 4a for Christmas, give it back." Oh man, he was like, "If somebody gave you a Pixel, give it back." I said, "Yeah, that's." But everybody always votes it, at least on the Android sites, the phone of the year because the software is good. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see. Bad News Brown. That's Gary. Is that right? You guys always say. Yeah. So Gary was saying it's far from a flop, and I mean, and a lot of here's the
very close to a flop.
Here's the thing, though. No. So the way that MKBHD put it, and like it's hard not to disagree with him. Is it's not that it was like a flop. It's not like it's the worst phone ever because I agree it's not. I use my Pixel 4 all the time, but what happened is the expectations for that phone did not meet, or you know what I mean? It did not meet its expectations.
Right. And who did those expectations? Google did.
None of it. None of it met the expectations. Solely didn't meet the expectations. None of it. The battery is terrible. Like Google. Yeah, it's their fault though. The updates come out late. Then the whole big push they made was Face Unlock, and you can't use it with your apps.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
You can be asleep and use it. That's good.
What happened?
I said you can be asleep and use it. That's good.
You can be dead and use it. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
They take you back to like years ago when the fingerprint scanner was new. Like you can't unlock your banking app with it. Yeah, and you don't have a fingerprint scanner. You got to either use autofill, which isn't that safe, or
that's actually why that's one of the reasons I switched over to my iPhone, because I was like, I can't do this every time. Every time I want to check my bank or whatever, or unlock or use Google Pay, and now I just use Apple Pay because it's like I can't.
It just works.
Guys, wait a minute. Fingerprint sensor.
There you go.
$299 and a Pixel. There we go.
I still think phone manufacturers should use both. I still want to see a fingerprint reader and I want to see Face Unlock.
That's one reason I love my OnePlus 7 Pro, because that's what I've got, both.
You know what? All we can hope for with the Pixel, and I seen somebody had said, I think it was on the last podcast that Android Central did, is if Samsung goes to secure Face Unlock, if they don't, we'll never get support for it because the app developers don't care because there's not enough pixels.
Yeah.
For them to care about
Samsung do it, you're going to get it. That's true.
Because my bank has had like 5 updates and they haven't added it.
Yeah.
So nobody cares unless Samsung does it.
Yeah, I agree.
And Samsung is smart. They give you the fingerprint sensor, swipe to unlock, Face Unlock. They give you everything.
Yeah.
They give you every kind of unlock. I don't even know.
Remember on my Galaxy S10e just came
when the S9, I think the S9 was out, you could even unlock your phone with like a code word to Bixby or something like that. They give you all kind of ways to unlock your phone.
Well, yeah, but we all know how much we all want to use Bixby.
Yeah, or 10 of the other things that Samsung's putting on their phone.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Oh, look at DJ's comment. Put that.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold.
Oh man,
man.
He could have got him an iPhone. What is it? iPhone 7? What's it called? The iPhone 11, the regular one.
11, yeah.
The one I have, yeah. Hey, that's the good thing about kids. They're going to give it to you straight. They're not going to cut you no slack. They're just going to tell you.
I feel though that's more of a like all their friends have iPhones, so it's like, Dad, what are you trying to do? You trying to make it look bad?
It wouldn't be like that if Google pushed RCS. If everybody knew what it was, but
at least you're the only person in the world who knows what RCS is.
Yeah, you can still get nice videos and all that, but Google has done, they have done nothing with nothing that they get, man. I don't know. Google's just, what was the app, Mike?
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
They're closing another app. What was that? I just seen it today.
Google magazine stuff, right?
Yeah.
I forgot that thing even.
Google is terrible.
Yeah, when you put that out, Will, I said, why? None of us are surprised. That's what Google does.
Well, that's what I put on there. Another one bites the dust.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go, Jerome. There you go.
Actually, Gary, if you want to give me that Note 10 Plus, I'll definitely do camera tests with it because I haven't had a chance to mess with it.
And Gary, if you want to send it to the older generation as a donation, that's fine with me. I'll just send you my address.
There you go, Gary. You can sell it.
I said send it. I didn't say sell it.
Well,
I don't have money to buy one right now, so I'm waiting for the S11.
Yeah, I'll use my age. I have no shame.
Yeah, I hear you. Geez, Google's always the focus of the chat these days.
And I wonder who makes that the focus.
Because they let me down, George. They let me down every time, man.
You know what I would love? I
had such high hopes for him.
No, I was gonna say I would love by the end of this year that we're gonna look back. What my hope is that we'll look back, in October and be like, remember when we used to shit on Google all the time? Like, no, I would love for the Pixel 5 to be that good. I would love for the Pixel 5 to be that good that we don't have to, we could look back and be like, Google fixed their issues. Like,
yeah. Well, we got to ask yourself, what if you could go back to the comments and look at Pixel 3?
But Jerome, by the end of the year, we're all going to have a Microsoft folding phone, the one that actually works.
Good one, George.
Yeah.
Good one, George.
Maybe.
Google. I don't know. See, Mike, I don't think you were ever really excited about the Pixel. I remember when the first one came out, I was like, wow, they finally did it. Like, this is, camera's good. Then when the
I was excited about the first one. That's true, too.
They just kept, it's like every year.
Well, what was the phone I got excited the most about?
I'd say it was the G7, wasn't it?
No.
I think.
No.
Mike, I think for you it was OnePlus, right?
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mike was, man.
Trust me, I'm getting itchy. I want to get something over here.
You were a Moto man all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, once he got that OnePlus 6, it was over.
Oh,
and it was red. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones. The OnePlus 6 in red was one of my favorites.
Yeah. I to this day it's my work phone. That's what I use for work.
And these are the two phones I carry with me every single day right now. The iPhone 11 and the OnePlus 7 Pro. I love those phones.
I need to get back into OnePlus. They've always been great phones. Sometimes the camera, the day shots are great. Sometimes I have issues at night, but I would love to
a lot of time upgrading their cameras, and they're doing a very good job of it. I got to agree.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of testing using Gcam with the OnePlus phones, and they were right on par with the Google Pixel.
I keep meaning to do that because I keep having a couple of subscribers ask me to do it, and I haven't done it yet.
Gary, man, you're brutal.
Yeah.
Gary, I don't know. A little too slow, Gary.
I don't know. Gary.
You gotta try it, man. You gotta use it. If you use it, Gary, you will. Oh man.
I don't know Gary that well, but I'm the biases are showing here. So is he a Pixel fan? Is that what this is?
Gary has a Pixel. He loves the Pixel.
This is just Gary being Gary. Now, the only thing that could be worse if we were talking about an iPhone and Android stud showed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gary, I don't understand why you hate OnePlus so bad. The camera's not good, but their software.
The camera is good now. It wasn't as good when
it's not. It's not a Pixel, but their software is great.
Their software has always been great. Yeah, I've always loved the little things that OnePlus puts into their software. Plus how stupidly fast it is. It's just a great responsive phone.
Jerome, do you feel that's a trade-off? You get that performance over the camera. Is that where their focus is on?
No, I don't you think their focus is on that? But it seems to me camera has become their secondary focus.
I would like to see that because that's the way you say it, Mike, is how I feel about it. So for a lot of people who ask me for recommendations on phones, if they want something clean, if they want something that's performance based and they don't care that much about the camera, I will always push them towards OnePlus. That's usually my recommendation there. But if their cameras are getting better, I would love to test that out.
You should give them a shot, because I think over a 3 or 4 month period on the OnePlus 7 Pro, and I gather on the 7T also, cameras keep getting better and better and better.
Gary hates OnePlus.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Whenever you bring up OnePlus, he does not like it. But I mean, I've had the OnePlus 3T, the 5, the 5T, the 6.
Yeah, I've had all those too.
Pro. The phones are great. Like, even when if you have a folder open and you hit the folder, it comes down to the bottom of the screen. You know what I mean? Like it does, so you don't have to reach up to it. Like OnePlus, their software is great.
Gary talking about them with OnePlus, it's like Jean Leger talking about AT&T.
Yeah,
I don't think Gary I don't think he ever used a OnePlus. That's why.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised
if you used it. He probably still wouldn't like it because he'll say the camera's not good. But wait a minute, software destroys Google.
One time he did try one or something like that. I
think he tried he tried the Samsung. I don't think he ever tried a OnePlus.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the software kills Google. They have customization on there. That's they embarrass Google.
So real quick, should we move on?
Let's get to the next.
Move on, because I want to do this last story, and I'm bugging out.
Go to the one you want to do.
The latest Galaxy S11 Plus leaks.
Okay, I've got it up. I'm going to share it when you're ready, Willow.
All right.
Okay,
I got it there. Who's going to read this one?
I'll read it. I'll give it a shot. Between the call. Okay.
This is on Police also.
This is on Android Police. Yes, the latest Galaxy S11 Plus leaks show a much saner-looking camera array with only 4 lenses. With Samsung's next flagship smartphone event, possibly taken in February, details around the upcoming Galaxy S11 and S11 Plus have been plentiful. While there is a lot we're looking forward to from S11, early renders reveal a pretty derp-looking.
I never heard that one before. I'm like, what's derp?
Derp-looking quintet camera system that dared to toss the cylindrical, design handbook out the window. Thanks to a prolific leaker on leaks, we now have a new information on how the camera system may actually look, plus interesting omission that changes what were previous reported about the S11 and 11 Plus. OneLeaks took to Twitter this week to confess that the S11 images that circulated in November were that of an early stage prototype. He goes on to share a fresh render of the S11 Plus depicting a much tidier camera array that is believed to be the final production version ready.
Sorry.
That's okay. There's a Twitter, Steve H. McFly. That's a cool name.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
So
my mind is saying McFly. Hello, McFly.
Up until now, all leaks have pointed to that the S11 and S11 Plus rocked 5 cameras. However, the newest render shared by all leaks only contains 4 cameras and an LED flash housed within the same rectangular bump.
Only 4 cameras.
Only 4.
Yeah, only. That's what I thought.
There have been no solid details as to what makes each lens unique, but the XDA developers claim there will be a telephoto, wide angle, and time of flight sensor in addition to a honky 108 megapixel primary lens.
Yep.
We won't have much longer to wait to see what Samsung has in store for the next flagships, as the S11 and 11 Plus are expected to be unveiled in sometime in mid-February.
Yep.
So I only wanted to do the story because earlier, before Jerome got on here, Will, and we were in the backstage, as we say, Will was gushing how much Samsung's killing it in their update department.
He's saying he's killing. He's saying Samsung's killing everybody.
Yeah,
Samsung is killing it, man. With they got the mid-range phones coming out that look like the high-end phones. They're killing it for $300.
Comes Gary with his comment.
Gary stands at the new 10 plus. Gary is crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to tell Gary to go on Swapper and get a OnePlus 6.
So, what do you guys think about the camera array?
It don't matter because Google's gonna get up there and be like, while time of flight sensors, 108 megapixel and wide angle are fun, we think
we think 1 camera is good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Google's gonna go up there and tell everybody why all that stuff doesn't matter.
We don't care what you think. You're wrong.
I'm actually looking forward to the camera on Samsung. I want to see if this bigger sensor is actually a thing. If they do put a bigger sensor, it'll probably be one of the first times, I think.
This is a deal. They went in on a deal with who? Was it Xiaomi? Yeah, wasn't it Xiaomi?
No. So this, I'm talking about the sensor size, not the megapixel.
The size, yeah.
Yeah, the size of the sensor is actually supposed to be bigger than. So if you look, like on the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pixel 4, the sensor size is like 1/2.5 or something like that. And then it's like 0.4 inch is the sensor right now. And then this S whatever 11 or whatever is going to be a 3/4 inch. So I mean, it's not, obviously we're talking about mobile phones, so the sensors aren't going to be that big. Huge, but it's supposed to be, a bigger sensor is always going to be better. But
Samsung might be getting my Pixel 4 in the mail as long as they give me a couple chargers, cases, TV, the phone. I'll be mailing it right to them. Give me $600-700. They can have it. Because that's gonna be my thing. If Google doesn't have Face Unlock support by the time that phone comes out, it's gone. It's gone. I'll send it back. I can't it's like Jerome said. It's rough to keep.
I don't know if they're gonna fix that because they have.
It's not on them. It's not on them. It's the developers. But it's not like they're not like Apple.
Saying for months they're going to get rid of that, eye closing thing, and they haven't done anything.
That's what I meant. They haven't said anything about that lately. They just pretended it's not a problem anymore.
And they keep talking like they're doing something, and they're not.
Apple will be like, all right, we're moving from the iPhone 8 to the 10 and we're going Face Unlock. And if y'all don't support it, y'all are out the store. Google is like, it's okay. Y'all can stay. Like Google is backwards, man. Like they're supposed to have, their phones should have support. So everybody else on Android can be like, yeah, let's try that.
Exactly.
They're supposed to be the model in the thing. And they're making it like the developers are like, yeah, we're not doing that because you only sold 3 million pixels or whatever. Nobody, nobody cares.
No, if I'm a developer, I'm going to develop for the A version because they sell.
Yeah. Well, with the fingerprint sensor, you don't got to do nothing.
Exactly.
It's like, why didn't you leave the fingerprint sensor? Like they had to know this was coming. Like they knew that it was going to be.
And you get a headphone jack.
Yeah. Get in
there you go.
Jack.
There you go. Have you guys ever messed with this time of flight camera stuff before? Because it's on the newer Note 10,
the newest, the Samsung. I think it's just for depth, right?
It's for depth, but they said it was supposed to help with portrait mode, and I just
it's supposed to make your night.
It's supposed to help with night shots too.
Oh, I read that somewhere.
Mike, you got a Galaxy S10 in your house.
I haven't had a chance to play with it. Now you guys are going to make me take my wife's phone and say, live without your phone. But I got to play my games.
I think the portrait mode was good on the Note 10. I think the portrait mode was good. But
now, I have my S10e, but I haven't played around with it.
God, I wish I could just rent phones and just so I could test every camera out. Yeah, that's all I want to do is I just want to see how good the cameras are.
Some way you can do that. Yeah.
I should just start a business. I would have to charge so much for insurance because there's no way.
Samsung's. I don't know. The only thing I don't like about Samsung's camera is that it does that smoothing thing. I don't like that.
It does, and like, there's no way. Can you turn that off? Is that not a thing?
They have like some of their phones or later ones you can turn it off, but it doesn't turn it off enough.
I heard
everybody here, nobody likes it. You know?
Yeah, I heard that's a thing because of Korea.
Yeah, they like that.
They like that smoothing effect or whatever.
Yeah, because it makes you look fake. Like it looks.
Yeah, that's not everybody's look though.
Yeah.
I look fake enough already. Thanks very much.
Like that thing, it smooths everything. Like it's crazy when you take a picture. Like I know somebody who I know has a Samsung, and she posts pictures on like Facebook. I'm like, my God.
But let me ask you, 108 megapixel camera. How much is that 108 really truly 108?
Well, it uses a different kind of technology on how it works. So it's
a deal between Samsung and I think it was Samsung and Xiaomi got together on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like some weird bidding technology. So when you take a picture, it's not 108 megapixels. It will still end up being 12 megapixels. Yeah. But they use, and I tried to actually read up on how the actual processing works. Yeah. I don't know.
Pixel bidding going on, but I don't know that
Doesn't it like do it in 4? I think something about the
3x3 is
yeah. Mike, your wife is asking a question.
Yeah, I'm going to answer her.
Okay.
yeah. Samsung, I don't know. And like Gary was saying, that it's not going to be pixel quality, but the thing is, even OnePlus, all right, it's not pixel quality, but you get options. Like you can have wide angle, and I think that what is the OnePlus 7 like 48 megapixels or something? Like you can actually you have options. You have the macro mode, and it's cheaper than the Pixel. So even if the picture doesn't look as good, and I mean most people don't care because you're not zooming in on the picture to really criticize it like that. Like Google needs to realize that it's nice to have a great camera, but you gotta give us bigger batteries because you can't use the camera when the battery's dead. You know what I mean? Like I remember I think I had a Pixel 2 or 3 when I went to Disneyland with my kids, and it was embarrassing because I had to like turn the phone almost off to be able to use it to take pictures because it wouldn't make it through the day.
Yeah, damn.
And I wasn't calling nobody. I was on vacation, but the phone was terrible, man.
And I can tell you that every time I do like Pixel phone versus iPhone 11 versus S10e, there's always people that don't choose the Pixel that thinks the S10e looks better or the iPhone looks better. So they don't win every time, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I mean, people have different preferences on what they want their picture to turn out. You know?
That's you know what, George? That's what I think that's what I like about the Pixel. The Pixel has like a look, like they do something with the colors, and I like how it looks.
Yeah, well, Samsung has a look too, and a lot of people.
That's the thing. I could probably do fine with a Samsung if I took the picture with a Samsung phone and then just put a filter on it. I wouldn't even know the difference. I can get what's that A51 and use that and be fine.
I think a lot of people wouldn't notice those differences. That's why like I back in the day, I would make those blind tests. I would make blind tests. So, and you would just have to pick A, B, or C, or D, or whatever, you know. And then, I mean, MKBHD's done that too. But
often,
yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you know, Jerome, you mentioned about the ABC, the blind tests.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a good example then is like you just did that one on the Moto versus the Pixel just dropped moments ago, and you look at those pictures, and they're not bad.
Actually, I heard a good amount on the G7,
right?
So,
I mean, you know, so the question lies is, who would win that battle? Seems like the G7 might get a little nod here.
I'm sure in a lot of cases it would. Like when I did a blind test for I think it was either the Pixel 3 and the OnePlus 6T using Gcam, and most people like the results on the 6T. You know, again, it's funny because I look at this by Gary here. If you know the Pixel, iPhone, and Note was in a camera shootout, the Note would come in third. But if you did a blind test,
then would you come in third?
I don't know if it would. I don't know if it would.
It doesn't even matter because the Pixel has no wide angle, no 4K 60. No, like if you're gonna pick one phone and be like, you know what I mean? You're right. Other phones are more versatile than the Pixel.
Variety on one unit is going to help sell that phone. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, when a salesperson is telling you what it can do versus what it can't do, I mean, that's kind of hard to like.
It's away from the one that can do so much more. You know,
I don't think I've been to I don't know. When me and Mike went, I guess the Pixel 4 was on sale, but we didn't really go into a cell phone store. I want to hear somebody try to sell me a Pixel.
Yeah, you know, that was weird. You know, when we went out for our burgers, we never met. We didn't. Mobile was just right over there. Yeah. That was a lot of willpower.
Next time I go out,
there you go, willpower.
It's like Jordan right there.
Yeah.
Next time I go out, I'm gonna go to like a store. I want to hear somebody try to sell me that phone because it's got to be the hardest thing ever. They probably don't even try because the screen, like. When you go into AT&T, the Samsung screens are all laid out. You know what I mean? Like, Google can't win, man. They can't.
We gotta get like a hidden camera one day.
Care about what? Wait, Gary, what do you mean? They care about what? Wide angle? Everybody wants wide angle on their phone.
Yeah, wide angle's nice.
And 4K 60 is like the new buzzword. People want that. And Google didn't even put that in the... Google didn't even mention video. Google didn't even mention it.
That's true.
That's been terrible on Android forever. Where iPhone you can record 4K 60 for hours with no limit.
iPhone is killing everybody in video.
Yeah, and every Android phone it'll like turn off after 5 minutes, and then
I had mine overheat during one of my tests.
Yeah, overheated.
I was not testing on a 90-something degree day, and the Pixel didn't like it, overheated.
The Pixel didn't like it.
And that's what, 4K at 30?
Yeah.
Google acts like video doesn't even exist. I guess because they can't do nothing fancy with video. Like they can't post-process it. That's probably why they didn't do wide angle. They can't fix it. They can't come up with a way to make it, you know.
You need to use AI to
to make it something different.
Yeah. I don't know.
If we do wide angle, it's gonna be just like everybody else's. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even OnePlus does good correction, like on the corners. OnePlus, when you take a wide angle shot, it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
Like with the distortion, it doesn't look that bad. Mm-hmm. I remember when the Pixel, I think it was the Pixel 2, or maybe the first one, when they had that, was it OIS, where it was real, the video was real stable. Like they had which one was it? This first one or the second one? I remember that was a big thing
for video stabilization.
Yeah, they had like they did it with.
It's when they combined OIS and EIS.
Yeah, that was their big thing when they're. I don't know if it was the first one or the second one, but I remember when that came out, they talked about how great that was, and then after that, they just fell off in video. The Pixel 3 had terrible
audio.
Yeah,
was awful.
Google was like, we designed it that way. They came out and said that that's how they made it. Like, really?
Yeah, no, I remember I made videos specifically about that. I was just complaining about that because that was a huge gripe of mine.
Yeah, Google just.
I knew Will was gonna laugh as soon as he saw that comment.
Oh,
Gary, that's old, man.
Gary is too much, man. Gary.
Oh wow.
Gary would be good on drop the mic, you know.
Gary's crazy.
I feel like Gary needs his own like pixel channel. That's all he talks about.
There you go. You know.
Nah, I think what's his name is worse than Gary.
Leo, Android stuff.
He's on Twitter, and he comes on Jay Wills.
Oh, LaShawn, yeah. Oh, yeah, LaShawn. Yeah. He's not having anything.
I don't know who that is.
He doesn't have a YouTube. Yeah, but he loves the Pixel too.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Pixel too. I just want to see it do better. That's all. I'm just being real.
And I love it as long as they keep making A models.
All right. Well, let's see. You want to take this one about the Pixel? I think Mike picked the ship and carrier.
I'm sorry. I was going to bail out, guys.
All right,
man. Sorry, but
feel better, Mike.
Your voice is
thank
starting to change a little bit too.
What's
all
that?
right, Mike.
The voice is starting to change a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay. I'm maturing now. Thank you. Good night, guys. Thank you very much. Hey, George, next week on my channel, I will be better for that.
All right, man. Make sure you get better over the weekend.
I will.
I'll be talking to you, Mike. Let me know which one is the phone of the day.
Okay, you got it, buddy. All right, see you.
All right, Mike.
Bye.
All right, so where are we going next, Will? You're in charge here.
The one with Google ship and carrier locked.
Oh yeah, that's outrageous.
I remember reading this.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
All right.
Google for the win.
Jerome, you want to read or should I read?
No. I'll read it. Wait,
let me get it shared. Okay. Okay. Well, I got the share there.
Got it.
Okay. I'll wait for it.
On Android Central.
Okay. Yeah. So from Android Central, Google is shipping carrier locked Pixel 4 units to customers that bought the unlocked version. The Pixel 4 picks up another PR issue.
Yeah.
So what you need to know, Google's been shipping Pixel 4 units carrier locked to Xfinity Mobile. These devices were billed as unlocked devices and sold directly from the Google store. Some replacement devices have also been shipped with the same carrier lock. Okay.
Boy.
Google's Pixel 4 has stumbled yet into another PR issue. As per a report from 9 to 5 Google, the company has somehow sent out a batch of carrier lock devices to some Google Store buyers. As these devices were sold with the understanding of being unlocked units, customers were understandably irate at being locked to Xfinity Mobile. Making matters worse, when Google support sent out new devices to replace the flawed ones, some of those are carrier locked to Xfinity as well. Whoopsie. It's not entirely clear how this happened, with the most likely explanation being a mix-up somewhere on the supply chain. With that being said, it has to be frustrating for consumers, especially during the holiday season. For affected buyers, the most immediate solution seems to be request returns until they get an unlocked one, barring a remote fix from Google. But this route is unlikely to be satisfactory past the second or third return for especially unlucky buyers.
Yeah.
The Pixel 4 is a pretty good, albeit flawed device. At the bare minimum, accepting that Google can't fix the specs post-release, one would expect the firm to work hard to solidify the intangibles of the Pixel experience, like post-purchase support, reliable replacements, updates, and all of that. Stories like this don't inspire faith, especially with the Pixel 4a coming down the pipeline. In the meantime, let's hope Google figures out the root cause of this issue before more customers fall victim.
I mean, that is terrible. And then they're going to send you a new one to fix it, and they send the same freaking thing. And they're locking you to Comcast of all places. You can call Xfinity all day long. It's Comcast.
It's Do you know why they rebranded as Do you know why they rebranded themselves as Xfinity? Do you know why they stopped calling themselves?
I mean, you actually know the definitive reason why? I know what I suspected all along.
Yeah, because people hate Comcast. They've been the worst company, and so they had to rebrand and call themselves something different.
I said that in the begining. Comcast is always in the top 10 most hated companies in America. Always.
Well, they're an oligopoly, right? Like they have so much power and money, and like they just
the problem with Comcast, if you're a Comcast, like here before we had the
I have Comcast.
Yeah,
I hope my internet feed doesn't stop.
In Chicago, Comcast is like one of your only choices.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
You don't even know.
And before we had a choice here, I was on Comcast, and every time you had to get to something for customer service, they would charge you for it. They would update something, and then they say, "Well, there's a charge for that." But I'm like, "But you did this."
It's always like that, and that's the problem with like these oligopolies, because once they have control, because it's not like Comcast is working alone. They're working with AT&T to make sure that they only provide the same exact services at those prices, because they can't compete. It's a way for them to both make money. Yep. And then at the same time closing everybody else around. Like when I lived in Chicago, I ended up actually picking a specific place in Chicago where I could get different internet service. So I didn't have to use either of those two, and I paid a lot cheaper price for a lot faster service. Yeah. Anyway, it's a completely different topic here, but the one thing that I wanted to talk about too is why does Google why do they have to make a carrier locked phone? Why does this have to be a thing?
Makes no sense at all to me.
What do you mean? Why do they have to?
Look at iPhone, right? Like
iPhone's carrier locked.
So they have.
You buy, well, no. They're not from the. If you buy it from Apple directly, it's not. Unless you go on their website and pick. Yeah, I see what you're saying. If you buy your phone and say you're buying it for Verizon?
Right.
Once that SIM is in it, it's locked to Verizon because you're on Verizon's.
Oh, it is.
So you're out and change it.
You know what? I guess
you can get a locked. You can buy an unlocked phone just like you can from Google. But if I go to the Apple site right now and buy an AT&T phone on AT&T's payment plan, it's locked to AT&T, even though I'm picking it up at the Apple store.
Yeah, because you bought on AT&T's plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long because I don't buy unlocked, or I don't buy carrier locked phones. So yeah, I just
like all the Pixels I think sold in the carrier stores, I think they're all locked.
Really?
The carrier, they're all locked. Yeah, you would have to go to like Best Buy to get them unlocked.
If you're buying it on the payment plan, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're.
But you know what though? It really doesn't. It does, but it doesn't, because the Pixel, when you buy a carrier locked one, the only difference I'm pretty sure is, I know that when it was on Verizon, it didn't have Verizon apps on it. Right. You couldn't do the OEM unlocking.
Exactly.
Right. Like I know T-Mobile,
because if I'm a provider, and you're buying a payment plan from me, I want you locked to me until that payment plan is done.
I'm talking about in the developer options, like that feature is off. And I know on Verizon, I think they disabled the eSIM.
Okay. But there's just too much stuff there. Like none of this should be a thing. Well, wait. So what about when if you buy an iPhone at Verizon or Sprint or whatever? If you pay for that phone, if you pay it,
you got to wait like a month, I think, before they'll unlock it.
Yeah.
Oh, but they don't add any of their load or anything, right?
The iPhone is king.
That's what I mean. There's no way to do that. Like Apple has so much pull that they're like, no, why you're not going to add anything onto our phones? Are you crazy? Like you want to have a splash screen show at the beginning of your company? Like no.
Yeah, nothing.
And the only reason I say that is I ended up buying, because remember when the OnePlus 6T first came out to T-Mobile?
Right.
And it had such a good deal on it that I actually got one, and I'm just like, why does it have this T-Mobile splash screen? Like I was just like, oh,
the updates.
Yeah,
like the OnePlus from T-Mobile is terrible. Everybody complains about it.
It was the first time that I tried to get a carrier phone because I'm like, hey,
I can tell you, Jerome, I buy some T-Mobile phones, and even if you unlock some of them, you're still going to see the splash screen. It just stays, but it's not locked to it anymore. You know.
It's like embedded in there. However, yeah. That's unfortunate.
I agree.
Apple's like always above. I think it's because Apple, they sell so many phones that the carriers are like, yeah, we'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, because they know that it's going to sell in their store, right?
Exactly.
With the Pixel, what happens is like, if you put an AT&T SIM, I know the last time I was on AT&T, I think if you put an AT&T SIM on it, it automatically downloads like the AT&T app, but you can remove it. But you can remove it.
It should never even be that way. That's what I'm saying.
Verizon used to download like 5 apps.
That's true.
The messaging app, the Verizon, like it had like 3 or 4 apps.
I've always stayed away from Verizon because of stuff like that. I remember an old meme where it was because you know how Verizon likes to put its logo on its own phone. I remember seeing a meme where there were like 5 Verizon logos all over the phone, just because it's like they want to. I don't know. Anyway,
that's why I'm not doing 5G because you're going to be locked to the. On your stream with you and Mike, Mike was like, what did he say? Remember when you were saying he was saying that the 5G is going to kill the unlocked phones? Did you understand what he was saying? Because
it took me a second. It took me a second to understand what exactly how that was working there. But no, it makes a lot of sense now. I get that.
And I kind of agree with that because it seems like the 5, they're trying to lock people into their
because no matter what you get, even if the phone might be unlocked, you're still locked to whatever band you have, whatever 5G. Right.
Could you imagine if Samsung or somebody made a phone that would handle all they would charge ridiculous for it?
But at the same time, they're not going to allow that. They're not going to let you into their system that way.
The carrier wouldn't even. They probably wouldn't even let your phone on their network.
Exactly.
Right. I guess we'll see. We'll see when the S11 comes out. Like what their plan is. If there's going to be
Samsung's going to have
by mid-year, I probably will have some kind of T-Mobile 5G phone. But next year, let's see what it really opens up to.
Samsung's going to have like 10 SKUs for that phone. There's going to be a Verizon model. They're going to have like
that's what confuses me though. If Samsung can put 8,000 different features into a phone, why can't they just put all the bands of 5G in their phone?
Exactly.
I bet you the carriers are probably like, no, they probably won't allow it.
Yeah, right? They probably wouldn't allow it.
Like,
it's the carriers going to stop it.
Yeah, they want to keep you on their network because they don't have no other way to hold you now because you don't have a contract. Like you can buy the phone, and once you realize, like, wait, if I pay $700 more on this iPhone, I'm done, and I can, my bill goes down, and they're gonna just pay the phone off and leave.
Yeah, and I can take it anywhere I want.
You can go get prepaid for half price.
Yeah, no, exactly. We'll see what happens.
That's gonna be how they lock you in with that 5G nonsense.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that 5G works out.
I can't wait. That S11, if it has 5G, this Pixel is gonna be right in the box. Going back to Samsung, I'm telling you, because they're not gonna have the face unlock thing is such a disappointment.
But part of it's gonna depend on who's 5G. Again,
such a disappointment. I'm telling you, that face unlock is terrible. I mean, honestly, George, as good as Visible is the Verizon network, as good as their service has been, if I went to a carrier, I probably would go to Verizon.
Really?
I don't think I would go back to AT&T because you don't get like visual voicemail. They don't give you.
See, I love my T-Mobile, but
I just stick with T-Mobile because it's the cheapest. I
mean, I can't think of anything that would get me going for Verizon. I have always Verizon the greediest of the bunch by far.
Are they still the cheapest?
So just FYI, I pay right now my phone bill after taxes or whatever. I pay $25 for like unlimited everything. But it's also because I have I'm on a family plan with I think almost 15 people at this point now. So, and it's that's why. That's why. And I got grandfathered into a plan, so it's like there's no point in moving over to anything else. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about. I have 2 phone lines and I pay, about $25 on each one. So
yeah, that's not bad. See, I pay that, but I have prepaid.
What are you using? You're using Visible? Is that what it is? Yeah. And what cell towers is that using? What network is it using? Oh, it's Verizon. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's drawbacks to it because they don't have there's no phone number that you can call. You got to talk to them on Twitter or.
You got to talk to them on Twitter?
Yeah. If you want support, you got to send them a tweet. Yeah. You go you got a private message on.
It's so different.
It's crazy, but I mean, for your bill is supposed to be $40, but if you do, they call it party play or whatever. So let's say me, you, and Mike all had Visible. We would join one group and we would all pay $25 each. We still pay our own bill, but it's only $25, and you get Wi-Fi hotspot.
Is that what you're doing right now, or are you just doing it on your own?
I got like 4 groups. I got everybody hooked up in Visible.
That's what I mean. I mean, that's how you kind of, I won't call it beating the system, but that's how you save some money,
Yeah, I was paying AT&T ridiculous. AT&T was killing me.
I remember when people would, when I would ask people what they pay for their phone, and this was back in mid 2000s, and like $125 a month, and I'm like, oh my god, like what are
one phone line?
Yeah, I mean that was back in the day. People were spending so much money. I mean that was when carriers had like a real good grip on you, like you were paying, you were stuck in a 2-year contract, and it was like, but my phone was 99 cents, but I paid $100 a month. Like that makes no sense. It's like, Jerome, why would you pay $500 for an unlocked phone? Because I pay $30 a month for my phone bill.
Exactly. Yeah, the iPhones were like $99 for like a 4S.
Yeah. It was all of that subsidized plans or whatever. They completely ripped you off.
Yeah.
But people it's like when they tell you a car note, like, oh, you're only gonna pay $199 a month for your car note for 84 months.
Yeah. And look at how much you paid when you're done.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta look at that's the thing to look at is what you're gonna pay if you don't pay it off fast.
Right.
But AT&T still does it. You can still get a contract. I don't know about like Verizon or T-Mobile.
Really?
AT&T, if you call them on the phone to order your phone instead of going to the store and you tell them like I want a contract, they'll give you a subsidized price.
Really?
Yeah. They'll take money off. Yeah.
I thought that was illegal. I thought the reason it got
they'll still do it, but you have to call and request it.
I guess it's legal as long as you're the one requesting it.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap like it used to be. Like I think the last time I did it for my mom because she was on AT&T, and I think we got an iPhone 6S Plus, and they charged like I think she had to pay up front like $500 or something like that.
Really?
Now look what Gary is saying on that though.
You say AT&T now got he's on see I was gonna do that plan, but Visible's cheaper and you get unlimited.
Okay.
Yeah, but with rollover too, that's not bad. No, $40, that's not bad at all.
I know Verizon had that one. It was like 16 gigs of data. It was prepaid. I think it was 16 gigs of data for like $50 a month.
Okay. Yeah, for 16 gigs. Yeah.
Visible, no tax. I don't even look at my data. There's no tax or nothing.
It's just a straight bill.
Right? I got Mike on it. Mike was scared at first, then he got on it. Yeah, it's good, man. There's no issue. No. I don't even think about my phone bill no more.
No, that's great. That's how it should be,
Yeah, that would be nice for all of us, wouldn't it?
Well, that would also be nice for your internet bill, but you know how that goes. So
Comcast is.
I was going to say Comcast is still the biggest internet provider.
For me, I think all I can get for internet is either where I live at is Comcast.
It's not AT&T.
DSL. AT&T doesn't have internet where I live at.
Okay,
and that's it. I think those are my only choices. And DSL is
and that's how they want to keep it. That's how. And
I think once I move to Florida, it's going to be Comcast. I'm not going to have a choice.
Yeah, most people don't have a choice. That's who you get. So yeah.
Of course, I'm used to fiber optics here because here in Chattanooga, normally the two fastest networks in the world are Google and Chattanooga.
Yeah, yep. Which is great. Yeah, because when I was in Chicago, I ended up finding a company called WebPass, and they were a subsidiary or like a brother company to Google for Google Fiber. So I ended up paying. So I think I paid less than $40 a month, and I was getting 500 down and 500 up. I was getting asynchronous internet, and it was
that's
great.
The kind of stuff I get here. I have to get used to not having that in another month, but.
Yeah.
And of course, I'll be picking your brain like crazy, Jerome.
There you go. I don't mind. Let me know.
So and what you were saying about the problems I was having last week, here I have Google. What am I trying to say with the network? The Google mesh.
Oh yeah, so the Google Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
right?
So I have one plugged right here in this room into my router, and then I have another one upstairs.
Sure.
And it covers my house beautifully. So you're saying that's what I'll need down there?
That's what you'll need. I would get one of those because that works better than an extender or a repeater or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I had an extender before, and this is way better than that.
No, just stick with that. That.
I got one of those with my Pixel actually. Google. What's it called? The Wi-Fi.
Google Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Google Wi-Fi or Google Nest Wi-Fi.
I like it because it's set up like a separate network. Like I have another network now, and you can give you that. I like it.
Yeah,
I was like, this is nice.
It's easy to set up because back in the day when I used to do IT, I would have to set up APs or access points, and like those are not consumer friendly at all. I mean, I made good money doing that for customers because like nobody knew how to use them. So. Anyway. Will, I think you were asking about Mint. I actually have a free trial of Mint. I'm using that right now. I'm just testing it out. It's not bad.
How long?
Use T-Mobile's network, right?
I think it's T-Mobile. So I already have T-Mobile, so it's exactly the same. At least, but it's not bad so far. I don't know what the data is or anything like that. I haven't really looked because I'm like, oh, it's 3 free. They gave me 3 free months, so.
Wow! How'd you do
that? How long you been using it so far?
Just a week, I think, maybe less than a week. No, that was because of Mike. That's why. Because when Mike had that G7, it came with that, and he was like, "Why don't you just?" He's like, "You could make a video." I'm like, "I guess." So I'm testing it out, but yeah.
See, Big House said he got it for free too.
Okay.
I know there's services like,
and in the end, you don't end up paying a mint.
Oh man.
Correct.
What is it? $15 a month for 3 months or something? You got to buy it like in a group, right? You got to buy like 3 months at a time.
I have no idea what the bill is. It's because honestly, as soon as I saw 3 free months, I'm like, okay.
Like, it's real cheap though. It's like you got to buy it like in a bucket of months though, like 3 months or 6 months. So
you buy it in like a bundle. Is that
you pay for a month's of service at a time.
A bundle of time. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better though. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody should do that instead of being stuck with paying crazy cell phone bills. But I tell people at my job, I'm like, why do you keep buying your phone from Sprint or getting stuck there? It's terrible.
Yeah,
a lot of people
buy a Pixel 3A and be all right.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. That's why they have no idea. They feel like they can go into the store and then the sales rep will help them with everything.
Sales reps. These people are in here to make money, folks.
Yeah, that's it. They don't care about what you really want, what you need. Nothing.
They're no different than a car salesman.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, and they're set up to be the same type of deal. You know.
Yeah, well, they profit off of selling you the Samsung or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
And they depend on the ignorance of the public, and most of the time it's working. You know.
There's a. You're laughing at.
Oh, why? Why is it always us? Oh man. Nothing. We always get funny people in our streams.
What are we reading here?
We always get funny people. All right.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
All right. What's the next story?
Which one you want? Oh, you want the Xiaomi? Well, when you recover,
it doesn't matter. All right. Let's. It don't matter, George. Which one?
You're in charge here.
We can go to any of them. It don't matter. We can do Verizon. We can do Verizon's network retirement. About time.
Let me bring it up. I guess I'll read this one. And yeah, you guys are going to have to, I think, explain some of this to me because I'm not sure I understand it. But all right, I got the screen.
All right, you got it.
And I've got it shared.
All right.
Okay, and this is on Verizon's own network. So it's CDMA network retirement. As we complete our network transition to 4G and 5G, we at Verizon would like to keep you up to date with some important activities. We are moving all devices to our HD Voice LTE network, which offers superior coverage and performance compared to previous generation networks. Starting January 1st, 2020, in other words, 3 days ago, Verizon will no longer allow any CDMA 3G and 4G non-HD voice like-for-like device changes. Now, can one of you explain to me the CDMA non-HD voice as opposed to HD voice? You guys reading comments, and I'm
Verizon, I know if you call like Verizon to Verizon, it pops up on your phone. Like if I call Mike with Visible, it'll say HD voice.
Okay.
That's all you know what I mean? I know this CDMA thing, isn't that the fact that Verizon, like for a long time, you couldn't just switch, right?
Yeah.
Like they had to put you on their network. So
right.
They wouldn't take, like, I remember when when the Nexus 6P was out, people were trying to put that on Verizon and they were like, no, it's not allowed. Like,
yeah, because
I think they're becoming more like AT&T.
Well, when Verizon, so when you hear the term world phones, right? GSM. So you could use phones all over the world. And then when Verizon and Sprint decided, like, hey, we want to be phone companies, but we want to make proprietary networks so we can profit off of everybody. So they, instead of doing GSM, they decided to make their own CDMA network.
Right. And that's what drove me to T-Mobile in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then you couldn't buy unlocked phones, and then I mean it's a little different now. They make stuff for CDMA, but yeah. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Currently, 3G/4G non-HD voice CDMA devices can't be activated for any new line of service. And of course, they list the chart, which is no longer allowed, and then down the bottom, which is still allowed, which isn't much really. So this was starting 3 days ago. Also, starting 1/1, any service requests related to CDMA devices may receive limited support, and customers are encouraged to upgrade to newer technologies. That's suspicious. When they say limited support, that means they can pretty much do anything they want to. Mm-hmm. Impacted devices, 3G only devices, including 3G basic phones and 3G smartphones, 4G LTE smartphones that do not support HD voice, example, Apple iPhone 5S or prior, connected devices with CDMA, e.g. Gizmo Pal 2, Gizmo Gadget. I never heard of any of them. And some home
I have no idea.
Proprietary custom build 3G. So all of those are impacted. Sign into My Verizon to check your upgrade eligibility and get the latest and greatest devices from the market. Enterprise customers can visit My Business to explore options. So, of course, if you're enterprise, you're going to get many more options, I'm sure. But so obviously they're pushing really hard to get you off anything that's 3G, and if it's not HD voice 4G, that's what
they don't want you to be able to bring like an iPhone 5 on their network no more. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know this was a thing. I had no idea that they were retiring
with
CDMA.
Verizon. Yeah, everybody's been like waiting for this. So you can do like SIM swaps and stuff like on AT&T and everything.
No, that's great. Like I love hearing that because that's something that that's kind of why I've stayed away from Verizon and Sprint. But is Sprint going to do this too? Are they going to retire CDMA? Do you guys know? Or
does it matter for Sprint? Or is T-Mobile still buying Sprint? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't. But that's the thing is like
the court case is still going on.
It's not interesting too good for this whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah, New York and California are still fighting to keep the deal from going through. That the court case is still happening as right now. So.
Oh, he said Cricket is doing it too. Gary said Cricket Wireless is doing it too.
Okay.
Well, who's Cricket? Who's Cricket under?
Stopping you from putting them phones, probably. Yeah.
Cricket is whose?
I have no idea.
Isn't Cricket AT&T? I thought.
I think it is AT&T. For some reason, I think it's AT&T. I think AT&T had announced, I think too, a long time ago that they weren't going to be letting older phones back on their network either.
Really?
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere too. Yeah.
It was a while. Like they had announced it a while ago though. Verizon is kind of late, but it is good that Verizon's finally doing it because it was a pain, like not knowing if Verizon would let certain, unlocked phones. Like when you would buy an unlocked phone, it would always be like Verizon would have an X through it because they wouldn't, show you all the carriers and be like, this one doesn't work on Verizon.
Of course, Big House is saying CDMA good riddance, but it doesn't sound like to me CDMA itself is going. It's just certain types of CDMA, So I wish Sprint and Verizon would just totally just go GSM like the rest of the world and forget the rest.
Yeah, because Sprint is still. Yeah, Sprint is still
Sprint. Yeah.
So wait, you get a Sprint phone. I haven't had Sprint in so long.
They're not compatible.
You get a SIM card?
You still get a SIM card. It's just they're not. They just work on a proprietary network. That's all. So the only way that's going to work is if that phone is capable of, has all the other bands, has CDMA and GSM or whatever.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that used to be a thing. When I would sell like my older phones, when I'd sell like my old iPhones or whatever, you would have to be very specific about what you had because
because if they didn't have the right network, you couldn't sell it to that person. Right. You couldn't use it.
Yeah, because AT&T and T-Mobile are fine. They're both GSM, but Sprint and Verizon a Sprint phone couldn't use a Verizon phone, and a Verizon phone couldn't use a Sprint phone.
They had you locked into their network. Yeah,
right.
That's what 5G is going to be.
Oh man, yeah, it doesn't fix anything.
Right. Verizon's like, we're getting rid of this and welcome 5G.
That's what I think. You're right. I think 5G is kind of pushing us back the other way. Away from all the freedom.
That's crazy because if you want that's what I didn't like about OnePlus doing that, but I guess they had to because if you wanted, like, basically the McLaren edition was the one that enthusiasts would buy, but now they made it you have to be on T-Mobile to use it.
Yeah.
So they made exclusive rights with T-Mobile.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
And who has OnePlus sold the most phones through ever? T-Mobile.
So when you have because I've never even seen the McLaren edition, but when you have a McLaren edition, does that mean that you have T-Mobile bloat on it? Does it have a T-Mobile like splash screen?
Yeah, I mean,
T-Mobile bloat. I know that Rishi has the McLaren 5G, and so does I think.
Well, wait. So does that mean you can buy it straight from OnePlus, or do you have to go to T-Mobile to get it?
You have to. I think you can go on OnePlus's website, but I think it redirects you to T-Mobile.
Yeah, probably. Because that's how they usually work when you go.
So it probably does have bloat on it, or no?
It probably does, and it probably has that T-Mobile device unlock or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like they used to sell the McLaren edition would be up there for like 2 days because it would sell out so fast, but it was.
Unlocked. I hate that stuff though. Like
they're trying to push the 5G. Everybody's pushing the 5G.
Yeah, I like that, because. What if I wanted a McLaren edition phone and I don't want T-Mobile?
Right.
Right now, I don't think you're going to get one.
And then your other option would be like buying a 5G Note and look how they did that. 5G.
Look how much more money they want for that thing.
I'm just saying, like, you can buy a Verizon one or an AT&T one,
right?
But at least you can still have the phone. You can't even get a 5G McLaren unless you buy it on T-Mobile.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I really thought they were going to go to Verizon with their 5G. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, I just don't like all this carrier whatever exclusive stuff. Like the Razor, right? Isn't the Razor Verizon only?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I'd be drooling over one.
Yeah, you think you'd get one if it came to if they had an unlocked version?
Still $1,500, so I don't know.
Yeah, $1,500 is a lot.
Really thinking about it, you know.
Yeah.
Huh. You know. Or maybe I'll try to talk to some young guy in California into helping me out.
You're talking to the wrong person. So.
Right. So there's a sucker born every minute. You're just not one of them. I understand. You know.
Yeah. See, Big House is saying, yeah, I know. I did hear that before about a Metro, and I think they used to charge you like $15 to switch phones.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually really interesting because the job that I used to work at, this one guy I worked with, he had Sprint, and I ended up selling him my iPhone XS because he broke his older iPhone, and so I gave him my iPhone XS, and I'm like, no, it's unlocked. Just put your SIM in it, right? And you would think that would be fine. As soon as he put his SIM on it, no. I mean, it showed that there was coverage, but he could not make calls. He couldn't do it because Sprint has to take that SIM and unlock that SIM to use a different device on it. That is crazy to me. Like I would never. That's why T-Mobile is great because I can just put my SIM in to anything and then it works. Exactly. I didn't even know that was a thing until he did it. I was like, why doesn't it work?
Same exact thing.
So Metro's another MVNO, I'm guessing. And
yes, it's T-Mobile MVNO. But if you put a T-Mobile SIM card in the Metro, you're going to pay or you're not going to get it to work. Period.
That's crazy.
Yep. That's how it works.
that's not how this stuff should be.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, you're probably right about that. I'll give you that. Okay.
Yeah, they get you, man. You can't even switch the SIM card. There's a lady at my job who has Metro, and she was like, "Yeah, they told me I got to go into the store and pay," and I was like, "That's
such BS."
Guess what I did in Florida last week? I went into the Metro store and paid to put that SIM card in there. That's what I did with the 6T.
Oh, okay. You had to pay, yeah. That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
That's why I like AT&T and I mean for Verizon, you can do it for some phones. It just depends on the phone.
Okay, that's where I'm with Jerome. It's like T-Mobile. You stick a SIM card, anything you want, you're good to go.
Yeah, and so I've had them for so long that I just assume everybody works that way. But it's not. Yeah,
as soon works like that, T-Mobile, and I think that's it.
Yeah, it's like I don't want restrictions on that kind of stuff. I don't want to have to like
T-Mobile for over 4 years. Especially know what I want. Yeah.
Especially like back when I was buying every single phone that came out. Like I couldn't even imagine the hassle of having to switch every time and then like call or go into the that's crazy.
There were a bunch of YouTubers that got off of Metro for that specific reason. You know.
Was that always a thing with Metro?
I gather so. I had only seen it as a discussion with some YouTubers, and I know some YouTubers walked away because they wanted to switch phones, and then they kept having to pay.
Yeah, no, that's not. How much is that fee? Do you guys know how much they paid?
I think they lowered it.
How much?
I think it was high at first. I think it was like $15 or $20 at first.
It was $15 last week.
How much?
$15.
So maybe it was 25 before. Because
I know what a waste of money. That's a cash grab.
Yep. And, for them to type in the thing on the computer or whatever they do.
Yeah, it's not even. That's just it. I feel like people are just. That's just an easy way to make money for no reason.
I think some MVNOs, because they have a lot of people on a little lower tier money wise. They can get away with this crap because they know they can.
Yeah, that's true. That's like, I remember back in the day when you used to be able to get free SIM cards. Now I don't know.
They charge you. Yeah, they charge you for a SIM card.
Yep.
But I mean, before that was free. That was never an issue before.
Yep.
I think that's why the carriers don't like eSIM.
Yeah, obviously.
eSIM gives you too much freedom.
Right.
But Google had eSIM with the Pixel 2 and nobody cared about it until the iPhone did it.
I didn't know that until Will brought it up.
I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even a thing for me. But okay, so imagine these new phones in the future are going to be all eSIM. Let's say they're all going to be eSIM. How does that work? So when I want to switch from,
They won't, because the carriers don't really like it.
So you'll think they'll always stick with a
right in what he's saying in that comment, because in the store she said if you had called, you probably could have gotten the free waived.
But I feel like that shouldn't be a thing.
That
shouldn't,
nothing at all, really. But
so you think the future of phones aren't even going to be eSIMs then?
No, I think they're still going to do this same thing.
And I think what Will was saying about 5G is part of what's going to cause some of that locking back in.
Because look, think about it. I'm guessing in other countries, I don't know if they do eSIM or not, but if we do eSIM,
I heard they do it a lot in Europe. I don't know.
Like you got the Pixel 4, and I don't know how yours looked when you first got it, but I guess since I think T-Mobile supports it now. When I first got it, AT&T didn't support it yet. I think only Verizon did. So when you first set it up, it would tell you, click here to set up your phone with Verizon eSIM, or if you had another carrier, I guess if you had the card or whatever they give you to do it, you could just scan it. But that stops you from going into the store. So the carriers don't like it.
You
don't have to go to the store. You don't really got to, there's no interaction with them at all.
Right.
It's just such a backwards way to, I mean, I guess it's no different than like these fossil fuel companies who still want us to,
You're dealing with these big companies that have been around a long time with these old time businessmen. Yes, I know I'm an old man saying it, but this is how they think.
That's true.
This is what I don't understand, what Gary just said, because that's what everybody keeps saying. eSIM is going to make it hard to go from carrier to carrier. When I had eSIM, I tried it on Verizon, and I was able to, like on my iPhone. The newer ones have eSIM, the 10S, the 11.
Right.
You can go on there and load up a plan, and you can switch between plans. So I don't understand why people keep saying it's going to make it harder to go from carrier to carrier.
Can you
phone is unlocked.
Will, can you explain the process on how that works? So like, is it all online?
On your iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to, I think it's cellular. It'll say on there, look, it says, add a plan. That's it. And then if you go to, I know Verizon, you can talk to them on the phone, you set up your plan, and they can mail you the thing. You can either have them mail it, or I think they can do it through email, where they email you the QR code. And then
and you just scan the QR code? That's pretty cool.
It looks like you just scan, you're good.
SIM card on your phone.
Right.
So
that's crazy.
With the iPhone, it was better than the Pixel, because I think the Pixel, I'm not sure. The Pixel, I did it with Fi. Like you've had Fi before, right?
I actually have never used Fi because I've had such a cheap plan that I can't. There's no point in me switching.
When you set up Fi, you download their app, you put what you want, pick your plan, and then it downloads the SIM card.
Really?
That's it.
Wait. So Fi doesn't use a SIM then?
No.
Really?
If you have a Pixel, you don't have to use a SIM.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
And even with the Pixel now, you can have two active lines at the same time on your phone. So you'll have two SIM cards.
Right. That's actually something. Yeah, I was actually talking about that in one of my videos, where it's like if you wanted to have two different carriers on the same phone, you could. Right. I'm just wondering how susceptible eSIMs would be to hacking. I wonder
if they were pretty susceptible.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
As it becomes more widespread, interested parties who are hackers they're going to start looking into that, I would think.
That's why I stopped for all my security stuff. I stopped doing two-way authentication.
Yeah, because people steal your yeah.
So that's why I switched over to just using an authenticator. So because
Google, the Google one, I know Google has one.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. So I use Google Authenticator. Mm-hmm. Google hasn't updated that app in like
Google is.
I think it's been like 2 years or something. And like
you knew Will was going to laugh at that.
No, I know. And so I use it because it works, but I just don't know if there are things that it's lacking. I haven't done enough research. I mean, I guess I should because I use it for everything. I use Authenticator for Instagram, for Facebook, all the apps, all Reddit, for everything.
Yeah. Google is terrible, man. It's like they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. And then they start, and then they're just like, oh, let's forget about it.
And then nobody touches. Yeah,
they move on. It's like they got ADD. Like they find something else to do.
Yeah. Will, that's very good. It is like ADD.
Something shiny comes along, and they're like, oh, leave that over there. Just forget it.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah, they I remember reading something where they say that one of the reasons they abandon stuff like that is just, either they find that it won't be, I don't know if it's profitable or whatever, but the fact that there's so much upkeep, and then teams who aren't interested anymore, there's no one else.
And that does cut into their profit because they're still paying people to do this. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but like they don't. That's the thing. Google, it's like they're crazy because you can't have something where Android is so many different people are using Android in all different countries, and you're just going to be like, people aren't using it. Look what happened with the cloud thing. Did you see that with the cloud printing? They killed their cloud printing service, right?
Did? I didn't know that.
They're killing, their cloud print thing. They're killing it, or it's maybe dead already.
Oh, I did see something.
If you had like a Samsung, I think it was a Samsung phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to print with theirs. Mm-hmm. Their thing told you like, we're killing ours. Use Google's, or I forget. One of them redirected you to the other person who's killing theirs.
Right.
What?
So, I heard it on a podcast. They were like, so what am I supposed to use to print?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't know. Google's crazy, man.
You download it to your computer and you can print all you want.
There's too many Android users for them to just kill stuff like that.
You would think.
Like Inbox, they just kill
of the world uses Android.
Hangouts, kill it. They just reckless.
The thing that I like about Google is they want to be innovative and they want to have a ton of ideas, but they need to tighten up their ship. I feel like they can still be innovative. They can still do things that other people aren't doing, but they need to figure a system where it's like, hey, we're still affecting people who want to use this stuff, and then you're going to run away from it, and then you make us look like idiots.
Yeah,
that's why when Allo came out, and I mean,
Allo was terrible. But
even when Allo and Duo both came out, I was just like, no, because I just, part of me was like, no, they're gonna shut it down eventually.
I tried Allo. I tried it.
So did I.
I think Allo, they made that for India. And it had a lot of downloads. If you looked in the Play Store, a lot of people downloaded it. And
I tried it. Yeah.
Their sticker packs and everything was all aimed at India.
Which is no, you're actually right. Because I remember testing Allo out, and one of the biggest reasons I got away from it was like, why am I just tied to one number? I can't use multiple Hangouts. And then I was like, Allo has all these stickers that I can't. I'm like, this would be great if they put it on Hangouts. Why didn't they just put all these features in But no, because Hangouts is its own thing.
And Messages is something else, and Duo is something else. Yeah.
Don't you think the whole thing with Google and every huge corporation except one that I've worked for has the same problem? AT&T, Citibank. The only one I worked for that was that big that didn't have the problem was Payne Weber. And the problem is always one department does not communicate with another department. And I think Google's a classic example of that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's Google's problem with their phone, with everything.
Yeah.
It's like the person who's making the phone doesn't know what the advertising department's going to do.
Exactly.
That's Google's problem.
You think about when I was in Orlando, I was on 3 different AT&T contracts. I was a consultant. I was a contractor, the program. And once I was there 2 years. Another time I was there 2 years. Another time so I did a lot of work at AT&T. And I had nerve as a contractor to sit in the meeting one day when we were having a problem with managers and everything. And I just said, this is AT&T. Can we not communicate? Boy, did they get pissed off.
That's really, that's
because they knew I was right.
Nobody knows what the next person is doing.
Exactly. And Google seems to be the epitome of that.
I guess they're too big. That's what it is.
They're definitely
what I think.
They're definitely too big, and that article you shared, Will, just makes it sound like they're just focused on money at this point. So
that article, like you said, it was hard to read it. It was like
that article was depressing.
I remember this must have been a year ago. Remember, George, when Adam was on, and the whole thing happened with China, and Adam was just like, remember George with the
when the Google employees, okay, when they walked out between the yeah.
It's like you kind of know that they're doing it, but to read like an article like that was crazy.
Yeah. I wrote an article about it too.
That guy was he was. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know though. I actually sent that article to my cousin, and she was like, "Yeah," but she's like,
"I'm really bad round comment." That's all.
I laughed at that too. I couldn't help it. I was like, I heard that guy is actually running for office, so I don't know if he also has ulterior motives.
I saw somebody posted in the comments. They were like, they're not gonna pick you or something. They said some people on Twitter, I guess they know him.
Really?
Yeah. If you go through the Twitter comments to the guy, they were like, "You only said this because you got fired," and then somebody else was like, "Something about."
Did he get fired or did he quit?
They fired him.
They fired him,
and he said they tried to give him a smaller job or something after, and then he was like, "I'm not coming back." That's when he was like, "I'm going home," or whatever, however he put it.
Yeah.
Well, we're up to 10 o'clock. You making yourself late for work?
No, we can get this last one. All right, you ready, George? The Google shutting down. This one's
wait a minute.
Access.
Oh, the Xiaomi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw it.
Okay, yeah. Trying to get it opened up, and maybe turn on my Xiaomi phone to see if that was working for my Nest Cam.
Somebody else could see in your house watching you see.
At first it didn't, and I'm like, okay, no, it's still working.
The images that are in this article, there's one of George in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Now you've made me feel secure.
All
right. This is the story on Android police again. Google shutting down Xiaomi access to Assistant following Nest Hub picking up strangers' camera feeds. Update Xiaomi statements. I don't think that was there originally. That update.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Had something in there.
So-called smart security cameras have had some pretty dumb security problems recently, but a recent report regarding a Xiaomi camera linked to a Google account is especially disturbing. One Xiaomi Mia camera owner is getting still images from other random people's homes when trying to stream content from his camera to a Google Nest Hub. The images including stills of people sleeping and even an infant in a cradle. In the meantime, Google has entirely disabled Xiaomi integration for Google Home and the Assistant while it works out the issue with Xiaomi. The issue was first reported by user UDOV on Reddit and expects the Xiaomi Mia 1080p smart IP security camera, which can be linked to a Google account for use with Google Nest devices through Xiaomi's Mi Home app service. It isn't clear where DOV's feed first began showing these still images into random homes or how long the camera was connected to his account before this started happening. He does state that both the Nest Hub and the camera were purchased new. The camera was purchased from AliExpress, which is even bigger than Amazon, by the way, and noted as running firmware version 3.5.1-00.66. Video showing, I'm reading the wrong thing. When attempting to access a video feed from his connected camera as depicted in the video above, which you can see right here, instead of the expected local video feed, he's provided a random, occasionally partly corrupted black and white still image from another home. Among the 8 or so examples initially provided to Reddit are a handful of disturbingly clear images showing a sleeping baby, a security camera's view of an enclosed porch, and a man seemingly asleep in a chair. And you can see that down here. Okay, there's the man asleep in the chair. 2 more images inside a home. It's just like weird stuff. I mean, this is just random.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. DOV also believes the content of the random still images being fed to his Nest Hub, which contains Xiaomi MiHa branded date timestamps, depict a different time zone than his own. So it's coming from some other part of the world, it sounds like. It's technically possible this could be an elaborate hoax, but the video evidence is pretty damning. Whatever feed is trying to be accessed is clearly something that is actually integrated with Google Home Assistant, and the fact that it's intermittently corrupted and showing still images rather than the expected video is also a pretty high effort for a fake. It's also possible these could be some sort of test images and he's inadvertently accessing a debug mode/feed, among other potential explanations. Google isn't taking any chances, though. We reached out to the company and were provided with the following statement after our story was initially published. We're aware of the issue and are in contact with Xiaomi for work on a fix. In the meantime, we're disabling Xiaomi integrations on our devices. That's what made me turn on my phone, so it has nothing to do with the phones. We reached out for further confirmation that this would mean a blanket disabling of all Mi Home product integration or commands for the assistant, and we have confirmed that this is the case. Our own subsequent attempts to use Mi Home integrated devices through Google Home Assistant show that Google has already disabled this functionality at the time of our update, and DOV, the Reddit user with the original report, has confirmed for us that his camera is no longer working on his Nest Hub. And this is, I guess, the message you get. The stream is currently not available from the kitchen cam. We've reached out to Xiaomi for comment, as well as additional details surrounding how an issue like this could occur, but the company did not immediately respond. This isn't the first time that smart home security cameras have had this sort of problem before. Memorably, some used Nest cams would remain linked to original owner's account, providing them a glimpse inside the new purchaser's home. Yeah, that was a story a couple of months ago. More recently, Waze, who makes smart security cameras, also recently suffered a mistake storing unsecured data in a publicly accessible manner, requiring all customers to pair setup devices again. Update 1. Google said it's disabling Xiaomi integrations. A Google spokesperson has provided us with the following short statement. Same as before, we're aware of the issue and are in contact with Xiaomi to work on a fix. In the meantime, we're disabling Xiaomi integrations on our devices. We have further confirmed and verified that this is a blanket disabling of all Mi Home product integrations for Google Home and the Assistant. Our coverage above has been updated with this information. Update number 2. Full statement from Xiaomi, good about time. Overnight, we've received the following statement from Xiaomi that confirms that they have identified and fixed the problem. It appears that some sort of catch was updated. That kind of makes sense. And while Xiaomi devs work on ensuring this won't happen again, the service will remain suspended. Official statement from Xiaomi. Xiaomi has always prioritized our users' privacy and information security. We are aware that there was an issue of receiving stills while connecting Mi Home security camera basic 1080p on Google Home Hub. We apologize for the inconvenience this has caused to our users. Our team has since acted immediately to solve the issue, and it is now fixed. Upon investigation, we have found that the issue was caused by a cache update on December 26, 2019, which was designed to improve camera streaming quality. This has only happened in extremely rare conditions. In this case, it happened during the integration between Mi Home Security Camera Basic 1080p and the Google Home Hub with a display screen under poor network conditions. We have also found 1,044 users were with such integrations that only a few with extremely poor network conditions might be affected. This issue will not happen if the camera is linked to the Xiaomi's Mi Home app. Xiaomi has communicated and fixed this issue with Google and has also suspended this service until the root cause has been completely solved to ensure that such issues will not happen again. But that is kind of scary. It looks like they got on it pretty quick.
Yeah, but did you? So like, I know looking at the stills is like kind of disturbing,
Scary.
but did you actually look at the video? The video is what like is freaky because it's not even the whole full picture. It kind of just looks like it's from a horror movie or something. If you play it, just play it real quick. I think
I'm playing it now. Yeah, I'm playing it right now.
It kind of just like shows a weird George's internet's gonna get okay. But no, check out how this works. It's like freaky to watch.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And it's just a short look at that. It's not even the full, it's just like
and looking at that does kind of look like bad network.
That's actually a good point. But it looks like a distorted horror image. Like eventually you're gonna get one with someone's head cut off or whatever on there.
But looking at that last part of it, it looks like you could see where network corruption might start doing that.
Yeah, and so I guess what's happening is because all of this like camera stuff gets saved to the cloud, and I think how I'm understanding it is that cache, right? Is like they very last second or before it cuts off, it accidentally gets fed through somebody else, which is like still no excuse. I don't want to see a still.
I get it. And it's still pretty. And there's the baby. I mean that's pretty scary stuff.
No, it really is. Like, can you imagine using your home hub and then that pops up? Like, no.
Yeah.
Especially when you're using it as a baby monitor.
Well, this reminds me of. Have you guys seen the videos of when people were hacking into the? Was it the Ring or the?
Yeah, did you see that? That was like 2 weeks ago, where the guy
was talking. He was talking to the child.
Yeah.
He was
like, "What are you eating?" And I was like, "What,
dude?"
My mom told me, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I seen it on the news. I was like, "That is crazy."
There was another one too where a woman was in bed. Did you see that one?
No.
There was a woman in bed, right? And the guy just starts talking to her in bed. And like the woman was so scared. No, here's the messed up part. She was so scared. She was like shocked and in fear. She was just laying in her bed because she didn't know what to do because the guy kept talking. He was talking to the dog that was in the bed too. And then he was like, "Why don't you move? I can see you in bed." And it's like, if someone said that to me while I was laying in bed, I'd be like, I would run out of that house because that is messed up. That's so messed up.
That's like so 1984,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary. That makes it like I wouldn't want to get a connected thing like that from my house.
Right.
Because you never know. Like,
I mean,
one slip up by Google or Amazon or any of these companies, and everybody's looking at your house.
And I mean, and it's not that it's hard. I mean, everything's getting hacked.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like that. I know the guy. I think the one when he was talking to the girl. I think the dad was home.
You see what Bad News Brown said about my hat?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that still image.
Oh God. Yeah, I think he was home, and the dad said like he was wondering who she was talking to or something. Who was talking?
That's
I forget,
crazy,
the little girl.
man.
Yeah.
No, but so then maybe you didn't see the other one because there's another one where a little girl walks in, but before she walks in, somebody's playing like some children's music through the Ring or whatever app. So like in her bedroom, and it was really messed up. Like it was disturbing. It was like, and I can't remember what song it was. It was a children's song that played, but then as soon as the girl walked in, then he was talking to her, but in like kind of a muffled voice or whatever, and he was telling her to say things that were like racist and whatever, and telling her to tell it to her mom. And she was like, what is going on? Who is talking to her? It's messed up, man.
Yeah, see, if that I'd get rid of all that stuff. If I had that stuff facing in my house, I'd be getting rid of all of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's especially if I had you got little kids.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy. I don't know.
People looking around in your house. That is so crazy. People worry about the laptop camera, and I guess George, Google was right now putting the camera on that thing. Now you got a camera on the Google Home. People start looking through that. Yeah.
It was it's like remember when they took a screenshot of Zuckerberg, because and it was years ago, and it was weird because they noticed when they took a screenshot, Zuckerberg had his laptop, but he had a piece of electrical tape that was taped over his webcam. And it was like, out of all the people, it's like, okay, the guy that breaches all the security stuff, it's like he knows, he's known.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy.
And I guess at that point we should have all said, well, if he's doing, I better do it too, you know.
Yeah, right. Everybody should just sign off Facebook. Yeah, because even the Facebook the feed was using the camera.
Yeah.
I know. It makes me think I should have something in blocking. I'm like looking at my webcam now. I should block that off every time I don't use it.
And now almost every day you see a commercial with the Muppets to buy the Facebook portal. Portal. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
All this stuff that they can spy on us.
All right. So next week we're going to be on Mike's channel.
Yeah. Yep. Next week is Mike.
Yep. And maybe I won't have any issues. That's the first time Windows decided to just restart as the stream was starting. You know.
So much tech with
it happens. It happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, we had a good stream. It
was a good stream, definitely.
I enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks for coming through, Jerome.
Hey, no problem, guys. No problem.
Jerome, you got anything to promote this week? I know you said you just uploaded a video.
Yeah, no. The only thing if there are people here who don't know me, just go to you can find me on my YouTube channel at Jerome Ortega, or Instagram and Twitter at PhoneJerome. That's it.
Yeah. All right, George.
And I haven't done a video since I had my disaster from last week when I was away. And probably this weekend, I haven't done any video at all. My phone's of 2019, but I'm going to try to get one done this weekend, and just something simple to say, okay, these are the phones I got. These are the best phone I had this year. So
there you go.
Try to get that done by Sunday.
Oh, that would be nice, George. I haven't done a video since the D brand grip.
We're not going to ask you the last time you did it. Yeah.
All right, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming through. Hopefully, Mike feels better.
Thanks, guys.
Next week we're on Mike's channel.
Yep, we will see you on Simply Your Device next Friday night, 8:00 Eastern.
All right. Yep.
All right.
Good night.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, Jerome.
Take it easy.